Hello and welcome back. Today I'll be doing a What's in Bloom video. I'm really excited because I have flowers to show off what's in bloom. I actually have blooms and I really am so grateful to have something to show because I've had such a productive summer and I guess I'm doing something right here because I have so many beautiful flowers to show off and to share with you guys. So here they are. They're really my pride and joy at the moment because I've only really been seriously in this orchid hobby for about a little bit over a year now. So the fact that I'm getting this type of response within a year of really, getting into orchid growing is phenomenal. I am so grateful and enthusiastic, and I really I'm so much more passionate now that I know that I'm doing something right and that it is possible for me to grow these beautiful plants. So I'm so excited to share these first-time rebloomers, and in one case a first-time bloomer ever with you guys on YouTube, and I hope you guys will enjoy them because I am so thrilled to have these flowers in my home. They really fill me with so much joy. And let's take a look. Let's take a closer look. First off, we have a familiar flower here. If you guys have seen my bloom profile video, this is Cayenne, my Oncidium Volcano Midnight Volcano Queen, and she is in spike again. That video was posted a couple months ago and it featured her very first re-spike in my care, which was very beautiful, a lovely spike of about 14 to 15 flowers. And my second spike has about the same. Now the flowers are also the same in that they are this really beautiful orange color. Size-wise, they're about the same as well. This little tiny Oncidium style of bloom with these gorgeous orange petals and sepals and this buttercup yellow lip. It's really very charming, and the color really is very saturated with this particular flower spike, which I love. The flowers do fade a little bit over time. They become a lighter creamy colored orange, but very saturated still. So I'm really excited. This flower spike has been in bloom now for about a week and it's still going strong. It still looks fantastic. She is such a beautiful, vigorous grower. So I'm excited to say that Cayenne is doing very successfully here in semi-hydro, and hopefully she'll continue to do well for me and give me more flower spikes. I'm excited to see if she will bloom for me again in the wintertime because I would love to compare the color of the flowers in winter versus the colors over summer. I do believe the winter coloring with the cooler temperatures will actually make the flowers toward the red spectrum as opposed to the orange spectrum. So this will be a very exciting thing to watch for. Otherwise, I love the blooms. I love these little orange flowers, my little Oncidium orange flowers. They're such a delight to look at and such a beautiful display to have in my home. Next up, we have another Oncidium family type of plant here. Another beautiful bloom. This is my Nani, and Nani is a Leomesezia lava burst Puanani. A very famous little tiny Oncidium. Now she is not going to really get much bigger than this. She is at mature size, and she has put out her very first flower spike ever. Now I am so excited to see this because this is a plant that I got as a seedling and it has matured in my care, and I'm so happy with the development of this Leomesezia. I believe it used to be designated a Howeara lava burst. Now it's a Leomesezia. Now this plant came to me with actually just one pseudobulb, and it was this one right here. This teeny tiny pseudobulb that was actually just a single new growth It wasn't even fully mature when she came into my care, that bulb. So she matured that bulb and then put out a growth that has since become this huge pseudobulb, especially in comparison to this little teeny one. It matured into this really large pseudobulb that put out this nice big new leaf. And to my surprise, I really didn't think she would have the energy to do this, but she put out a flower spike. And as you can see, it is beautiful. It is a flower spike of about, I want to say about 10, maybe 11, 12 flowers there. Just looking so beautiful. These tiny little blooms, and they are red. They are so red. Let's go in for a closer look. Now, as you can see, the flowers are just really beautifully saturated red with this really striking kind of pattern on the lip. The flowers themselves are tiny, like about the size, I want to say, less than a dime in diameter there. So they're really tiny, and they come in this really beautiful spray of blooms. This is its first flower spike, so this is a rather small spray, but still for the size of the plant, I'm really excited to have gotten flowers at all, to be honest. They really are amazing. So I'm so happy to see that Nani is doing well and that she seems to be adapting to semi-hydro without any problem whatsoever. And I'm thinking by next year I'll have quite the display from her if she continues to grow as she is growing right now. I absolutely love these blooms, and I love this tiny little Oncidium. I'm so happy for my very first flower spike. Next up, we have this really gorgeous Dendrobium. This is Dawn, my Dendrobium Christy Dawn. And now this one is incredibly vigorous. She is a very, very vigorous bloomer and a vigorous grower. I could not recommend this Dendrobium more. If you like a ever blooming type of orchid, this is the orchid for you. She is just a powerhouse, really, really vigorous, really, really amazing. Now, I got this orchid in full bloom when I received her a few months back here. Let's see, when was that? Back in, it looks like April of 2018. I received her back in April, and she was in full blooms. All three of these canes were in full bloom. She had this one mature cane, a couple of smaller, less large canes, but these three mature canes that were all in bloom. Since then, all of those flowers have dried away, and then I had another flushing of blooms. I got another, I want to say another maybe 5 or 6 buds and blooms on 2 or 3 spikes. And I thought, okay, that was the secondary blooming and she's done and she'll be set. But no, she decided to put out even more flower spikes and do another flushing of blooms. And I gotta say, she is really, really just such a vigorous grower. It's really astonishing to me. She probably is my most vigorous Dendrobium. And I mean, she just has not stopped being in bloom since then. I've had flowers from her every single month, and it is now it's now 6 months later, almost 7 months later, and I'm still having blooms. They really are amazing. They're very long lasting as well, which is fantastic. And I absolutely love them. They're so beautiful. They actually start off when they first open as these are a little bit younger, this paler colored flower. It's all white with a white lip with just a streak of orange down the center of the lip. But as the flowers age, they actually become deeper in color, and they will get a little bit more of a color in their lip, and eventually it will be just a bright orange lip on a white flower background, which is just such a beautiful change. It's so fun to watch the flowers mature. You can always tell which flowers are older, which ones are newer. It's really, really beautiful. The actual white of the flower petals and sepals doesn't change really at all. Sometimes I do notice that there is a little bit of hint of orange in the petals on some of the flowers. I think depending on the time of year that they grow, perhaps. but she is doing phenomenally. And as you can see, these flowers are just really beautiful. I really am enjoying these blooms. And not only that, but while she is blooming and blooming and blooming again, she is also putting out leaves. She's putting out brand new canes. In fact, she has 3. This very tall one in the back right here is her her oldest maturing cane. We have 1, and we have a second one right here, number 2, number 3 right back here, and a surprise to me, a number 4. So I have 4 brand new canes growing from this one mature plant that I got, you know, like 8, you know, maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago, something like that. So it really is about 6 months ago. So it really is amazing how vigorous this girl is. She really is a powerhouse, I really gotta say. And she will be the dendrobium that I will be putting all my other dendrobiums up on this this standard. Like, just, it's really amazing. She is such an amazing plant. So if any of you guys are looking for some very, very vigorous, very, very floriferous type of dendrobiums, Dendrobium Christy Dawn is definitely one to consider if you love her flowers, because she is an amazing plant. And not only that, but she does have this very charming aspect of her canes. If I can give you a better look, but you see those dark spots? That's hair. She's one of those hairy dendrobiums. So she's got this little layer of fuzz on her canes, and on her new growths, actually, her leaves are a little bit fuzzy too. They have this little like hairy texture to them, which is really, really charming to me. I quite like it, and she really is just an overall charmer. I absolutely love this dendrobium. So I hope you guys pick one up for yourself, because she's a really great plant. Here we have a very famous cross, and just such a beautiful display from Bluejay. Bluejay is my Neostylis Sneary bluebirds, a very famous cross here in the orchid hobby, one that's very popular, and so I'm so excited to have one of my own. This was a purchase from Peter in Sunset Valley Orchids. He doesn't work for Sunset Valley Orchids, but he is affiliated with them, and so I always buy a lot of orchids from him whenever I get the chance, especially my Neostylis hybrids. This is definitely one of his, and he gave me such a great plant. Look how old this plant is, how many leaves. This rhizome is ginormous, just such a huge one. So this is a very mature, established plant. And so when I took it home, you know, I wasn't sure how he was gonna do in my environment, just because he was so happy and so vigorous in his previous one, but he did not even blink. He came home with me and decided to just kind of do his thing. We have one stunted leaf in the back. As you can see, it stops right here. It's a bit shorter than the rest, but we have a new leaf coming out, which I hope will be closer to the size of its previous leaves. And we have this very glorious flower spike, this very beautiful flower spike that has about 10 flowers on it. We still have buds developing here at the top, as you can see, and let's go in for a closer look. Oh my goodness, yeah, aren't they gorgeous? These little teeny tiny blooms, they're so beautiful. And the camera does not translate well how blue these particular blooms are. The cerulean on the lip and on the edges of these petals and sepals, it looks a lot more purple on camera. It is a lot bluer in real life, as is the course of a lot of these camera kind of situations, but oh, really beautiful. I love these flowers. They are mildly fragrant in the morning. When I first turn on my lights, I grow all of my Neostylis hybrids under grow lights, and so they seem to respond well to that steady stream of light and food. And I mean, as you can see from this display, she seems to be very happy. He seems to be very happy so far, and so I'm really excited to see how he does for me. These blooms are just absolutely adorable. I love these little Neostylis style blooms, and so I can only hope that this flower spike continues to get bigger and bigger, and I'll get some more flowers from him, and hopefully some more flowers again next year. This is really very exciting. Just such a beautiful display, really. I was not expecting such a display so soon. I've had him only about 4 months. So I was not expecting to get such a beautiful display. But there you go, very happy plant. I'm so happy to have it. I will never say no to flowers. All right. Here we have a very surprising bloomer. Now this is one that I was not expecting. I've had Rustica for maybe 3 months, hardly even that, I think. I believe she is, about 3 months. The Phalaenopsis Chienlung color eagle. She is a hybrid of the Phalaenopsis summer blooming type. So she is a novelty Phalaenopsis, and one that is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, her flowers are just amazing. These colors are amazing. They're just so big. They're so beautiful. Such even form. I love that star pattern of the shape. I love these little tips. I love the color. I love the lip. They're just such a beautiful, beautiful flower. And ones that I really weren't expecting to see until next year. I got this girl in bloom with 2 buds of her own that, kind of lasted, a couple weeks, but really died off. I wanted to repot her right away. I'm not a big fan of the sphagnum moss plugs that Norman keeps all his Phalaenopsis in. She is one of Norman's Phalaenopsis, and so I wanted to repot her. I wasn't worried about the blooms. I was worried about the flower spikes. She came with 1, 2, 3, 4 flower spikes, one of which, as you can see, has dried off since she decided to put out these blooms. But I'm so surprised that she has hung on to all of these spikes, as many as she has, all 3 of these spikes. And on top of that, not only did she, hang on to the spikes, I was hoping to trigger her vegetative growth since I repotted her and kind of stressed her out. And so she decided to do the complete opposite of vegetative growth and put out flowers instead, put out new buds. So she pouted about, I want to say, for 1 full month. There was a 1 month period where all her flowers were gone. She just had the spikes. She had the leaves. She actually had a little bit of dieback on the leaves because of sunburn damage. She was a little close to the edge of the shelf, and so she got a little bit too much direct sunshine on the edges of her leaves. And so that's okay. I cut that damage away. She's okay now. But I really didn't think she was going to do much. I thought she was going to put out maybe a new leaf, and that new leaf would be enough for next year, and I would be super happy to get a display next year. Surprise, she decided not to do that and give me a display this year. So as you can see, she was happy enough to put out these 4 beautiful blooms. They're so gorgeous. I absolutely love the color, everything about these guys. And she has kept 3 of those spikes, only lost that 4th one, and she's doing fantastic. Let's go in for a closer look. As you can see, those flowers are just gorgeous. I love the color on them, and they are beautifully fragrant. They have a really nice, very mild Bellina fragrance, which is just, one that you can put your nose to and really inhale and enjoy during the, I want to say, maybe the late morning, early afternoon time, just when they get a little bit of sunshine shining through the western facing windows there. So they are looking so beautiful. I love the pattern, the tessellation on the center of these flowers with this little watercolor. They really are just like a watercolor of flowers. This is the newest bud here in bloom. I love the shape, I love the size, I love the smell. Everything about the summer blooming Phalaenopsis are so wonderful. So, this surprise display is really one that I'm so grateful for, and that I will definitely enjoy here as we progress with our extended summer. Here in Southern California, our winters really don't start until about end of November, December time. It's the end of October here and we're still looking at 75 to 80 degree weather. We just had a 90-degree heat wave like last week. So you can't really blame these Phalaenopsis for wanting to bloom more. They are hot growers, so they enjoy these extended summers and the mild winters. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how these guys perform next year. But I'm gonna enjoy these blooms as they are right now. They are so beautiful. Just such a wonderful display here of these 4 beautiful blooms. Alright, so that wraps up my What's in Bloom this month video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am just so grateful to have flowers to share with you guys because those are the ultimate reward of being an orchid grower, to know that your plants and your orchids are doing so well and that they're happy enough in your care that they put out flowers that they're you know, willing to bloom for you. So, you know, just to have these and to be able to share them is such a delight. And I hope you guys were able to see some really interesting orchids. Maybe you saw one that you like, maybe there's one that you're curious about, and you guys want to get one for yourself. Just enjoy your flowers, enjoy your plants, and I hope you show them the love they need to bloom for you. Have a great one, you guys. Bye!